If you're listening on podcast, be sure to tune in to our YouTube channel on YouTube at Wild and Weird WV.
Welcome to Wild and Weird Radio, a Wild and Weird West Virginia podcast. Welcome back to Wild and Weird Radio, everybody. Thank you for joining us yet again for another weekly installment of your favorite weird podcast. Remember, if you guys are watching us on YouTube, to like and subscribe and share. Hopefully you've already subscribed, but if you haven't, hit that subscription button, hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time new content comes out. And if you're listening to us in your car or maybe in your office, we appreciate that very much. We have been getting blown up on the download side in audio, and we cannot be thankful enough for each and every one of you guys who are keeping it wild and weird in the workplace or just cruising down the interstate listening to, us. And thanks for letting us keep you company. We appreciate it.
Now, get over there and visit the other side of the coin, which is our YouTube channel, which is blowing up also. Thankfully. Thank you so much, everybody. Seriously, for coming over. We have some incredible people over there.
We do. We have absolutely amazing people.
Amazing people every week. Come join a live and, watch that, or just listen to like this episode there if you like. I mean, you'll get to see some video. You get to see what everybody looks like, but the lives are just a whole world unto
every Thursday
themselves.
night, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join us live and get your wild and weird fix. Jump into the comments, guys. We have a tremendous community that we've built, and you can't find anybody better.
It's a lot of fun.
So how have you guys been this week?
Well, I've been good. How have you been? I've just been working on stuff. I mean, that's pretty much it. I can't say anything else.
It has been extremely hectic, having a couple caterings and then trying to work on stuff here, getting things done slowly but surely. Brandon, how about you?
Oh, yeah, I've been busy getting stuff done for the book and ordering books and supplies, trying to get them shipped out. It's been crazy lately.
The joy of logistics.
Sounds great, man. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I've gotten I managed to get a bunch of paintings done for the show there at Kecksburg, and got the presentation finalized for Kecksburg, and I'm starting on our presentation for Hocking Hills.
Yeah, we got to get together working on that too. Yeah,
got to get that going, and then got to get some products for that made too. So yeah, it's never ending. I mean, it's literally never ending. And then of course edit the videos and so forth and so on. The Nitro video I had to pull down. There was some issues with that, so we'll be putting it back up. It'll come back up. It'll be up by the time you guys listen to this, probably. So go over and watch that. That was a really cool investigation, and you'll be pleased to know that you now have a bigger role in it, Joseph. I went back and added a couple of pieces because I had to take some out, so I had to pull some in, and there was a little bit more of that the mannequin incident there that I put on for you, so you're actually more into it now.
There you go. You get to check Joe out in ghost investigation mode.
Yeah, it's pretty humorous, actually. It's really good.
Well, guys, remember, go check out Brandon's book. It's called The Ouija Board Said It Was Hungry. It's a compilation of short stories. You can find it on Amazon or contact you directly. You set up a website, right?
Yeah, I actually have my own domain now. It's brandonwriteshorror.com.
Nice. So you guys can go straight to the website, order the book there, and help him directly. I think it's fantastic. And get a real quick shout out to all of our super chatters who donate to the show practically every week. You guys are the sponsors. Everybody who's scrolling along the bottom of the page right now, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see all those guys. It's mind blowing, the people that support the show. Thank you all so much.
Oh yeah, it is.
So,
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a wonderful thing. So,
are
thank
we
you
ready
guys.
for the news?
I think we're going to go for some news. Let's go for some news.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
You want to talk about a slow, but interesting news week? That was this week.
It's been slow.
What do we got leading us off, boys?
Brandon, you're the news guy still. I don't care if you're a writer.
Well, I personally thought the most interesting thing was the Avi Loeb stuff about the spheres. Like that was.
I agree.
It's like he know. I feel like he has more information, but he's just slowly leaking it out.
They're going to make sure that they have all the data, and it's going to be peer reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds
And
familiar.
Yeah, and it's going to be absolutely undisputable. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to go out and say, we have debris from a crashed UFO. No, that's the media that says that.
Mm-hmm.
Avi says we have interstellar material. He's right. We do. We have something that didn't come from our solar system. Therefore, it is, i.e., interstellar by that data. And that is exactly what he said to this point. Could it be? Yeah, it could be. He even says it could be from, a machine, a technical machine of some sort. But he doesn't say that's absolutely it. It could just be a really, really awesome new discovery of an asteroid or a comet or something that crashed into the planet with the force of, several Hiroshima type bombs. Because that's what it did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they went out and found pieces of this thing, that's amazing to me. But what you're not getting from it is that this is just the first of his expedition. And in his latest interview, he said that there's a huge debris field. So there could be bigger pieces of this thing. Now that's exciting.
Yeah, who knows what those pieces might actually look like.
There you go. Now you're getting it.
Currently, the only thing we know about are the spheres. That's all that's been shown so far. Just the spheres. The spheres are probably, I think, the most eye-catching. There have been some other fragments and debris that have popped up, but the most noteworthy bits are these spheres. And there are ways that those kind of things could naturally occur.
We've talked about microspheres before, and you know why he brought the spheres up.
Yep.
That's direct evidence of an impact.
It is. Just take a look.
Yeah.
We have everything from Moki balls to microspherules from asteroid impact, and these aren't micro. The ones that he's showing in these that's been collected by the magnet sled is not microscopic. These are actually fairly good size.
They're a little big. They're about 0.5 millimeter or so.
Yeah.
But he's got bigger pieces. He just haven't showed them yet. I guarantee it. I think you're right, Brandon. I think he's got other pieces he just hasn't showed yet.
Yeah, I think he's waiting for the right moment. He probably wants to do.
Well, remember
like
what our...
You got to have a little bit of showmanship with this stuff. If you
Remember
really
what
want
our
people's
guest
attention.
said. Our guest said last week at the MUFON conference that's coming up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just in a few months. Avi's going to be
yeah.
there on via whatever. Yeah, Zoom or whatever they're using. I don't know what they're using, but yeah, he's going to be virtually there. So what do you think he's going to do? I think he's going to present some data is what I think he's going to do.
Agreed.
It's going to be big.
Well, the next news topic on deck is the long-awaited university-backed Bigfoot DNA. Well, they're not calling it Bigfoot DNA. They're calling it anomalous DNA, anomalous physical samples. And this is being
So this is
conducted-
wait. So we have to do this right. It's anomalous, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you guys, to get people to take you more serious, what you got to do is you got to come up with an acronym. That's what's wrong. That's why no one's taking this whole Bigfoot thing serious, like out there, right? Because there's not a cool acronym like UAP.
Right.
So y'all need one. So you need something like, I don't know, anomalous bipedal, forest dweller or something. I don't know, but you got to come up with some. It's going to make it work.
So this test is being led by a research team at North Carolina State University. They're conducting studies of allegedly morphologically anomalous physical samples. So the hair samples that people have found that have yielded,
Right.
no match.
Wait.
the
Stop.
database.
I'm going to stop you for a second because all the skeptics tell us there's no DNA data. There's never been anything collected. So how do
Well,
you address that, Joe?
This is where you tell those people to put their money where their mouth is and wait and see where this test leads us, because this is actually a university-backed test. It's being ran by the university. This is finally a collegiate effort of moving towards finding an answer to some of these anomalous samples that have been collected through leaving of sebum, which is the oils that the body produces on windows and car doors and things of that nature, all the way to hair samples and, samples that might be in the dirt at the bottom of track casts.
So what you're telling me is that people have been collecting this stuff and sending it off for years now, and those scientists have probably just been studying it all this time without running to social media and saying we have this or that. Kind of how it's supposed to be done. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
Is that what's happening here?
It seems to be that's what happened, but a lot of these studies that have been done in the past, the samples were destroyed.
Right. But these weren't, right?
And
that's what we're hearing.
Right.
So
well,
far?
these are being sent now. This is a brand new thing. It just started literally today. The site went active today to where you can contact the university, and the contact for the gentleman that's running this is Darby Orchid, and you can send the email. You can go to there's a survey that is being done by NCSU EDU.
Okay.
That you can just go to the website and fill out the survey, whether it's hair, bone, tooth, blood, flesh tissue, handprint, scat, saliva, anything. They'll send it in. You can go through. It goes through a sampling process because they're not going to take everything.
Yeah.
They want to know the story behind where you got it, the environment it was caught from or captured in. So like like any proper recording process.
What you're saying is they're finally taking it serious. That's what you're trying
and
to
it has to be collected properly. They're not going to want something like, did you pick it up with your bare hands?
Right.
No, we don't want it.
Right.
So it had to.
So
have
it's
been
very
scored.
important to know how to collect data is what you're saying.
It is. And conveniently,
Yeah.
if you are in our immediate area, we will be teaching a Bigfoot research workshop tomorrow.
That's right.
If you haven't registered, it's probably going to be full by then, but we are conducting a Bigfoot research workshop where we will be teaching proper forensic data collection.
Yeah, it helps, right?
It does tremendously.
Well, this is fantastic news, I think, and it's about time that we get something just to say, look, this is taking place, because we've heard stories, but like you said, all the samples get lost, blah blah blah. So it'll be good to actually get something, regardless of what it is, it's going to be good to get an answer of some sort, to be able to actually go back at some of these people who claim that, well, there's no data, period. There's no evidence. Well, apparently there is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this week on TikTok, a viral video.
Oh yeah, that lady.
made it
Oh yeah.
waves. And the lady, we're addressing this because we feel like we have to. We shouldn't have to, but we kind of feel obligated.
Well, I'd say by the time people listen to this, it'll be spread again like wildfire with a whole new version 3 should be out by then.
Yeah.
So let's just go back to version 1.
Oh,
So-
the version that's going around now, she was actually seeing a ghost and not a lizard person.
Oh man, that's version 3 already.
Yep.
We'll be up to version 4 by the time this comes out. Joe, hurry up. Fix this.
It has been an absolute mess. This woman, clearly under some sort of duress, had an altercation with a person on the plane, and what you're seeing recorded on somebody's phone, vertically, might I add. Guys, when you start recording video on your phone, turn it sideways. Drives me nuts when I have to watch a vertical screen. Come on.
Yeah.
Quit it.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, she's screaming, and she's like, "You're not real," is one of the things she says. He's not real. You never see who they're talking about, so it leaves the imagination to wonder. Obviously, she was taken off the aircraft because they're not going to take off on the flight like that.
Well, considering she said you all can stay here and die,
Yeah, you all can stay here and
it's going to get you pulled off of a plane real fast.
Yes. Yes.
Like, really? That's not a mystery why they would ground a flight. Yeah, they're going to ground a flight for that.
And it has been twisted, it has been skewed. There has been so much misinformation about this, from lizard people to ghosts to demons to you name it. Guys, we don't see anything on the other end of that video.
It's puppy dude, man.
Puppy dude. Whatever it was, whatever happened, there's probably a very logical explanation. There's been statements that she was at the bar drinking heavily before this flight.
I want to talk about that for a second, because that really irritates me and aggravates me.
It does, because it's instantly just used for disinformation purposes, and it's
for everything
used against experiencers.
Bigfoot, it's been used for UFO, experiencers.
But the bad thing is, look at Sheep Squatch. It has to be looked at. Just
No, because sheep squatch, it represents an actual physical thing. We're talking about hallucinations. You do not hallucinate on alcohol.
The version I heard was that she wasn't hallucinating, is that she got drunk, lost her AirPods, accused the man sitting next to her of stealing them. They got into an argument.
Okay.
She found out he was an attorney, and she got even more mad, jumped up and said, "You're not real." I guess like declaring he's not a real attorney or something. I don't know where the statement about everybody dying came from.
Her. As she's walking away, you all can just stay on this plane if you want to and die. I'm what?
Yeah.
Like, that's if she wouldn't have said that, I'd be like, yeah, sounds about right. But either way, she could have just had a complete nervous breakdown, an anxiety issue, man.
A lot of people have very bad nerves when it comes to
anxiety. It's not funny. It'll mess you up. It will mess you up. You can't stop it. It's a runaway train. And I feel bad if that's what it was, because, you're not just going to calm down. It don't work that way. So, I don't know. Either that or she had a psychotic break. And then, of course, there's a third alternative, which is that she actually saw something that no one else saw. I don't personally believe that. And of all people, I don't personally believe that in this case, because conveniently, this is being recorded. And it's been recorded in vertical format.
Yeah.
No, Joe. No, Joe. Why is it recorded in vertical format, Joe?
What's the most? See the full frame.
No. What's the most popular?
TikTok.
Thank you.
TikTok.
I rest my case, and yep, that's it. I rest my case.
But guys, the biggest issue here is that there's clearly a sad misunderstanding, and it is being used to make everybody in the paranormal community look like a bag full of nuts. And this is not good. Nobody that's listening to this should really feed into this. You just let it go, let it die off.
Just don't.
Just don't.
It has nothing to do with anything, right?
What amazes me is that video went viral the day that it was recorded. Like, that's how fast it spread across the internet.
Do you know how much money that video probably made? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You won't see this girl. Okay. Now everybody's like, oh, she disappeared. Yeah, she disappeared because either A, she's very happy right now, or B, everyone called her crazy and a drunk, and she's just like, I'm not showing my face in public again.
Or maybe she'll get so famous that she'll marry David Icke.
It could happen. Could happen. That could happen, man.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. So if that happens, you know where the idea came from.
We got another one.
Brandon, give us the feedback on your book, man. How's it going? First week, news update.
I've sold quite a bit of them. I've actually had to do like 3 orders of them.
That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. Yeah. That's awesome.
I made enough money off of it to keep everything circulating, so that's good.
That's usually how it works. You make enough to keep the show running, and that's the goal. If you can do that, you're good.
Yep, and I've been able to pay for some expensive software I wouldn't be able to afford normally, so that's good.
I see that. I know a lot of the folks there in the chat, not the chat, but the live premiere of our actual podcast. By the way, Joe, I want to address that because that was a big deal. When we release these, they get released on Fridays, and our last one released to an incredible audience actually, and there was a lot of people in there that came out for that premiere. And we had a good old time there. We actually had some folks, again, supporting the show, which were wonderful. And we all agreed that if his mic goes out again, we're going to probably replace the mic. Just saying. I don't care if you're emotionally attached to it. It doesn't really matter. It's going over a hill somewhere or launched into orbit. I don't really care. But yeah, there was a little issue with the audio.
We'll start a
And
fundraiser
I think
on
you
the show.
I think you did that evening. But anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's the news. What do you guys think? Yeah,
I think it's it.
I think
Oh
that's
yeah,
it.
that's good.
That's it. There we go.
All right, guys, we've got another special guest for you all lined up this week. I'm going to read you a little bit about this gentleman. He is here. His name is Cody. He's a father and husband. He's been a paranormal investigator for a year now. Currently runs the YouTube channel called the Sharpe Side of Paranormal. So from the Sharpe Side, we introduce you to Cody. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, hey, we're glad you're on, man. So you've been investigating paranormal. How have you been running your YouTube channel for about a year or two, or is that more recent?
It's more recent. So
Okay.
I've always been fascinated with the paranormal. Like I don't know where to start. Like when I was 10 years old, I didn't see a ghost, but I had like a clairvoyant dream. I had a dream that my grandfather died, and then literally the next day, he died. So
Please don't dream about me.
I get that. That's everybody's response.
Right. Well, that's normally that's what happens when you tell that kind of story. Like I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say the same thing. So I just figured I'd slide it in there.
Just go right ahead. And I grew up reading books like Haunted Ohio or Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Things like that was just always fascinating.
It's okay.
Keep going.
That happens.
Always fascinated with the paranormal. So last year I was on Facebook and I saw this advertisement. Hey, come join us for a paranormal investigation. It was through I don't really want to say their name, but it was Ghost Hunts USA. And I went to the Indiana State Sanatorium. It was me, my wife. We went to the public investigation. One of my coworkers and her fiance went, and that was quite an interesting night. And from there, I've just been hooked on going to locations and investigating. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to start a YouTube. I'm going to start getting out in the world and sharing what I find.
Well, that's awesome.
And yeah, so real quick, I know you don't really want to talk about the story, but now Carrot Top just came out and said, Carrot Top said he was on that flight, and I'm just like,
it just keeps it going, man.
This guy just wants to try to be relevant. I'm sorry, I just had to throw my 2 cents.
Oh no, you're
No,
100% right.
You're not wrong.
You're right. You're right.
That'd be like if Rob Schneider said he was on that flight.
Yep.
Everybody was apparently that was the flight to be on.
I think
Right.
that would be, that if people are going to keep milking this thing, that's what we need to do. We need to just
were
start
on that
superimposing ourselves in the seat, right? Like we were on the flight, like,
Yeah, I was
Put
up
me in there
first
blinking
class.
sideways.
This Big Bird was in the back, man. Didn't y'all see him? He was back there.
I was on the flight. I didn't see it. I was up in first class. This happened back in the coach. So back with the peasants.
Oh my gosh. That's it.
I just can't, it's very, very strange that how it all ended. And yes, the same gripe that you guys have. I hate it when people, I'm going to record a video like this,
Yes.
to the world, like this.
Yes.
Unless
Landscape guys.
unless you are trying to hit a specific market, and I think that they were.
And you have a point because TikTok only lets you record vertical, and
I
TikTok,
think
everybody
that's
knows
what
TikTok
they
is
were
the
doing.
hot social
Well,
media.
It could be too that guy saw a lady going crazy on a plane and was like, I'm gonna put this on TikTok and make some money off this crazy lady.
As
That
one
too.
does these days.
I mean, yeah, but you could, I have been a freelance photographer in the past. I did a lot of news stuff. I've worked with Fox, Fox Sports, NBC. I have always, like, when I was doing news stuff, I would record with my iPhone just because I already have it. Don't have to go out and buy a huge camera. And you could shoot 4K with these new ones. So, like, it was always on the side. I shot, there was a riot like 3 years ago when all that social uprest was going on, and I was shooting for the news, and one of my videos got bought like from Reuters, and I made like $3,000 on it, but it was shot like this, not like this.
Right. You shot it in landscape because that's usable, and it gets more in frame.
Yes, like there's a reason it was on TikTok. I just had to
Agreed.
give my 2 cents on it.
Agreed, 100%.
So do you guys just want to, like, know about my investigation?
I want to hear about what you've seen, what you've done. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Man. Are you guys familiar with the Indiana State Sanatorium? Or
Indeed.
Okay, so I went, and how Ghost Hunts USA did it that night, and I've been back since then. I was on a private investigation, and that was even crazier. But so we're on this tour, and our tour guide takes the group. They split us all up, so there's like 15 of us in a group, and we get up to the 3rd floor of the 5-story residential building, and I'm just standing there next to my friend or my coworker's fiance, and this like black shadow just peeks out of a room and just comes charging right between us.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Just right between us, and I wasn't recording, and people are like, "Oh, see."
Does that sound familiar, Ron?
Yeah, doesn't it? That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
I could tell you I screamed like a little girl multiple times that night. That's not even the craziest. So it seemed like I kept getting touched by stuff that wasn't there. There was no one around me, and like stuff was grabbing my arm, my leg, like something like pulled my shirt at one point, and I just felt like the spirits were messing with me. And then our next rotation, we went down to the nursing home, and it was pitch black. So they were doing a sensory deprivation, take your, you can't see, so your other senses are heightened. And they broke us up where they put people in the hallways, and they put them in the doorways of each of these rooms, kind of far apart from each other. Because I was so sensitive to them, and that's why I feel like I wouldn't say that I'm clairvoyant, but like I've had a lot of things that I'm very sensitive, should I say. So they decided to put me in the nurse's station itself. They're like, here, this is near the intersection of all 4 hallways. We'll put you here. And I'm like, do we really have to? Really? Okay. So I get into the nurse's station. I'm there less than 2 minutes. There's a closet, a linen closet. It opens up, and this nurse, like this apparition, just walks right past me. And I screamed like a little girl, like at the top of my lungs, screamed. My wife, she was down the hallway. You could hear her laughing at me. She's like big into scary movies and stuff, and like nothing scares her. So like she's laughing hysterically about this. So they decide to move me into a chair in the intersection of this hallway. Now, once you're in the dark for so long, your eyes kind of adjust to the low lighting. Multiple people, there were 6 other people that witnessed this nurse come out of the nurse's station, come right up to me, put its hand on my shoulder, and then disappeared.
Wow.
And I said, I'm done. Let's get out of here. This was
Multiple
fun.
witnesses. That's good.
I know. It was the most terrifying experience I've ever had in my life, but I was hooked. I had to know more. And the whole night I was just, like I said, I was being messed with. They the 3rd rotation, they put these cat balls next to me. Nothing around me. And the video's on my YouTube. They just started lighting up for no reason.
Yeah, they use those little motion sensor cat ball things. They call them ghost lights now or something. I've seen some people selling them for that, but they're a cat toy, right? That's what
They're,
you're talking about.
they're essentially a cat toy. So your cat hits it and they light up, which my cats, they'll play with my spare ones that I don't use anymore. But I mean, theoretically, they shouldn't be going off for no reason.
Well, they don't. They don't go off for no reason.
They don't go off for any reason.
They do not. No.
So they kept going off next to me, and I'm just like, this is crazy. Wow. So I had a couple of months, like, I wanted to do this again, and I decided, you know what? Let's start the Sharpe Side of Paranormal. Let's, put these videos that I took at ISS, put them online, and let's start doing some more investigations. And this year I've gone gangbusters. I've 4 or 5 investigations already this year. I got another one coming up this Friday, going back to a location that I went to. So, yeah, busy.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
And
so I got to ask you then. So you've been at it now. You've got a taste of this. You have to have some theory as to what you're experiencing at this point, or at least you have to have a working baseline of a theory as to what you're working on. Like, what do you think it is at this point? And it can change at any time, by the way.
I understand that. And here's the thing. So the rules state that energy cannot be created or destroyed.
Right.
So when we die, what happens to our energy? It just doesn't disappear.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that there are a lot of lost souls out there that are stuck in these locations or whatnot. And they just want their stories to be told. And they want to communicate, and they want to, they just want to converse. Everybody wants, a connection. And I don't think when we die, we lose that need for a connection with somebody, because you'll see, like, you go into these locations, and at first it's really quiet, and then once they realize that you're there and you're communicating with them, things start to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go to locations that are constantly being explored, like Indiana State Sanatorium or Post Town Elementary or Waverly or Eloise, you're going to get that activity right out of the gate, because they're like, hey, here we go. There's people here. They want to hear our story. They want to, they want to communicate with us. Let's communicate with them. I personally believe, like, Indiana State Sanatorium closed down in 2012 when it was Lee Allen Bryant. And then it sat there vacant for almost 10 years. For almost a decade, it was abandoned. And the only people that came in there were trespassers. But now that you've got all these groups in that are going in and doing these investigations, and there's people there regularly, it's so active, and these spirits that are there just want to communicate and share their stories, whether it was, a regular story or tragic stories, because there was a lot of patient abuse. There was many suicides. There was a murder-suicide between 2 employees that happened there.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so... Yeah, it's just, we can't, there are so many skeptics that are like, oh yeah, the paranormal's not real. But I encourage you, if you don't believe in ghosts, go on an investigation. Like, some of the stuff that happens is just so intelligent that you can't write it off as an anomaly. It's gotta be the paranormal. I went back to ISS back in April, and we were doing an Estes session. And for those that are not...
Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah. So for those that are not familiar with the Estes method, somebody wears soundproof earpods, whatever. They're blindfolded, and they've got a spirit box communicating with, these spirits. Now, we were doing a dual Estes session at that point, and we were right in front of the nurse's station, my favorite area. So we were there, and I was taking pictures with my digital. I had my video camera recording, and I was taking, digital pictures, and then all of a sudden, one of the girls that was, you know, in this Estes method said pictures, just
Wow.
out of, and the video's on my YouTube, and it's just like, you, how did she know? She was blindfolded. She couldn't see the flash from my camera.
Yeah.
And then I was like, do you want your picture taken? And at the same time, they both said no. And I was like, and then I was like, do you want us to leave? And they're like, get out now.
Oh, wow.
So we
You
ended
left,
up,
right?
yeah, we went to another part of the building because
Always respect them if you asked.
yeah, if they say, and that's the thing, it makes me so mad that these people go into these locations, they destroy them, or they do stuff that's so disrespectful.
Yep.
Can't do that.
Yep.
And I know I'm going to make some people mad with the statement.
Go for it. We do it all the time.
Probably. Go ahead.
So there was the PennCon or the Paracon at Pennhurst a couple of months ago, and I understand that you can go into locations and do fun stuff with the spirits, and they do tend to enjoy that, but they had a photo booth where people were wearing straitjackets and hospital gear and jail outfits, and that is just so disrespectful.
Yeah.
Well, let's say I wouldn't do it.
I want to do it either. I there's a fine line when you go into these locations, and you're gonna piss the spirits off. And one, they're not gonna want to talk. They're not gonna want to communicate, and that's how you get dark hauntings, in my opinion. This is just my opinion.
No. Speak. Yeah.
I think that if you're going to get a lot of angry spirits, and then when you go in there, people are going to have really bad experiences happen. That's it happens. And you know, I was having a conversation with some friends that I investigate with, and they want to do this, you know, they want to do like a Halloween thing where you get chased by like a horror movie character. And at first I was like, that's kind of disrespectful. But when they explained it to me, they've done it before, and it seemed like they got so much intelligent responses because it's like they're dressing up for Halloween. You know, that's different than mocking them, mocking the experiences that happen there. So there's that fine line where is it tasteful or is it disrespectful? I don't get people.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. That's pushing some boundaries for sure.
Well, either way, I mean, I think that it comes down to, you know, there's something there. I'll say it again. You know, you hear me say this a lot on a lot of these things. There's something there. You can't deny that there's something there. And I think the only people who are going to deny that there's something there are the people who haven't been out there and seen it for themselves. So what else do you use to try to validate some of your experiences, bud?
Oh, so like I've got a music box.
Cool. Now that's okay. Yeah, talk about that because this is something I haven't heard for years, honestly.
Hold on a second. I think I got it right.
You got it? Sweet.
I have it in my one case.
This is something that people used to use actually frequently.
I have it.
Yeah.
Hey, and it's got my logo on it too.
See that?
So, resold dolls and equipment. They're on Facebook. It only cost me $125.
Yeah, they still sell them, right?
Yeah. So, basically, I turn it on, and it plays like this really creepy. I don't know if
Almost.
That's some good Halloween vibes.
We heard it when it first kicked on.
There it goes.
So I went and looked because she lets you choose like what songs and stuff. I was like, I gotta find the most creepiest music that I could possibly find. And so it's got a sensor, it's got a motion sensor. And I typically like to put it like if I went to the Bell Mansion here in Fort Wayne, I put it up facing a closet at one point into an attic entrance, and it went off both times. There was nothing even close to it, and it went off. Like the first time, I just like I was like, whoa, that's the motion detector. That's the music box. And I was like, yeah. So, motion trigger devices, they seem to like the cat toys. I bring it up again, the little balls, they like playing with the lights. I mean, I know I do. I'll grab them and
Right. We all like lights. We probably don't lose that, I mean, we like lights.
I've got a couple of infrared cameras. And I got a spirit box. That's pretty much all I go in.
That's whatever it takes to get it. I think that's what it comes down to. And you've got multiple validation.
What was that?
Do you have a recorder, an audio recorder of choice?
Oh, yes. I think I have, I don't actually know who makes my audio. I think it's like a Panasonic.
That's one of the best. Little silver guy?
Just a little silver.
Yep.
Yeah, you got one of the good ones.
I know which one you got. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't actually know where I put it. Normally I have all my stuff right here ready to play with. Like my son, my 7-year-old son, I finally took him on his first investigation about a month ago.
Yeah.
And he had an absolute blast. He loves playing. Oh, I got an EMF reader too. The whole night he was like, "Oh, it's going off, Dad. There's got to be a spirit." I'm like, "Buddy, there's a light switch right there. That's not a ghost. That's kilowatt, and he's gonna take your money at the end of the month."
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you one for that. We just did a couple weeks ago at one of the war museums local. And the walls were so hot that you could not get near the walls. We assumed that there was unshielded electrical going on, but you literally could not get any more than 2 feet from the walls without massive spikes of milligauss. It was insane.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? And
Brandon.
You see people that will go on these investigations and they'll be like, "Oh, my REM pod keeps going off," or "My EMF reader's going off." But then when you go to that location, you go exactly where they are and you debunk it, you're kind of disappointed. Some people fake, some people will fake their evidence, and that just gives the paranormal community such this bad light. I read somewhere someone got busted. They were doing the YouTube with the EMF reader, and they had some wireless device underneath it.
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah, it's so easy to fake that.
Too. Yeah, you could totally fake that.
I'm like, come on. I understand the paranormal community is it's a newer science, and people just want to mock it and make fun of it.
Well, they don't really know. They see it as something to get a few clicks here and there. They don't realize that parapsychology has been studied since the 30s.
Well,
yeah,
that whole thing goes all the way back to the Fox sisters.
Oh, there you go. Great,
yeah,
Brandon.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
The Fox sisters.
Tell us a little bit about that real quick. Give us some history.
So it was two sisters who they said they were psychic and they could hold seances, and whenever you'd sit with them, the table would move by itself and stuff. And it came out that one of the sisters was actually extremely flexible, and she had really flexible toes of all things, and she could take her toes and grab the table leg and move the table without anybody noticing.
We call those grippers.
The fetish guys would have loved her. But
right.
But you're right, though. I mean,
she'd made a ton of money on Foot Finder.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, just imagine the amount of money she made on
born in the wrong century, kids.
Yeah.
Right. But Ron had a point too. This stuff's been studied since the 30s in parapsychology institutions at Stanford,
especially Stanford.
Yeah, and every other Ivy League college out there at this point. And the problem is, the reason, in my opinion, that this field is not taken more seriously as a collective science is, one, you have people going around saying they're experts. Yep. Two, you have people on TV for the last 2 decades doing all this jump scare stuff. Like, "Oh, did you hear that?" When you're in a perfectly quiet room. Dude. Right? There's nothing going on. But for the camera's purposes, "Did you hear that?"
Don't get me started on Zach Baggins.
I'm getting possessed.
It's okay
You
to
know?
do that. You can totally do that. We don't care.
I think he is a cancer in the paranormal community. I think he is a fraud. I think he is just a horrible, horrible person. And I know I'm gonna get attacked by the people that, oh, he's the great. No, he's not. Like, it's not every place is demonic. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
How
Are
many
you
times
sure?
can you be
Wait,
possessed before
wait,
your
Cody.
soul's
Wait,
done?
Cody. I don't know, man. I think now every place, it just depends on who goes in there, right? And challenges the demon.
maybe
Well,
It's the devil.
It's
You
the
also
devil.
take into account
The
all the
devil made
horrible
him do
things
it.
he's done to people that's worked with him over the years.
Oh,
Well, here's the thing about Zach, and this is a fact. I mean, all the other stuff aside, that's speculation and opinion, but this is a fact. He's a businessman,
Yep.
and he's going to do whatever that he can to stay where he's at, and it has made him a lot of money.
I'll
I
tell
don't
you
see
what
him
he
changing anytime soon.
He is an old school Carney.
Yeah,
He is modern day P.T. Barnum.
yeah.
No, you're 100% accurate.
yeah, you're right. And they've done terrible things in the field, man. I agree with you. But
There's
the one
people who
thing,
were used to be investigators who completely burn out, got outgone.
oh yeah, because they saw that, and it's like, well, why would you do that? Because that's
Yeah.
not what you really are doing, is it? No, but that's what they think we're doing. So what? Change their mind, educate them, show them what we really do.
Right.
That.
I don't know if you guys saw this past week. Are you guys familiar with Adam Kimmel? He owns like Madison Seminary, Fairfield. He's part of the group that owns ISS and
Dude,
stuff like that.
this past week's been insane for us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
It's been a blur.
So he brought these really big YouTube streamers into one of his locations, and they heard a noise and they like started freaking out. And he's like, you know what? I'm done, you guys. I'm out of here. You guys have it, and just leaves. He just leaves them. And he's like, I'm not gonna put up with this. Like, that's so disrespectful.
He actually did it.
Yes, the video's on his YouTube or on his Facebook. Here, I can play that. I can pull it up and play the audio because it's so perfect, and it's
Was
great.
it anybody notable that he left there, or just a bunch of random people?
It's some big group on. Hold on, they were live viewing. There was 150,000 live streamers that were doing it. I don't even know who they are, but here I got the video.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, hold on.
Listen, guys, this is probably the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Guys, I get it. I was trying to show you. You guys have fun for the rest of the night. You do your thing. Where you going? Where you going?
Dude, I would give this man a hug right now.
Oh my
I
gosh.
love him. He's like part of the ownership of Fairfield and Madison and ISS. And like,
That's awesome.
I know, and it's like we need more people like this
Yeah,
in the paranormal community.
That is amazing.
we
you,
do.
You
you've
actually
got-
gave me hope.
yeah, you've got people like that who are out there that are doing some good stuff, and seeing that in the paranormal community, that's huge because normally, and we'll get hate mail for this, normally everything in the paranormal community, somebody says they heard whatever over a EVP, the rest of the world's like, oh yeah, I heard it too, when really all you heard was
It's
And
subjective.
it is. It's
EVPs
so
are subjective.
Now,
Nope.
I did do an EVP session at ISS, and like we asked a question, and there was like a noise outside, and then you hear like this mechanical clicking noise. That
See, those are more interesting to me than hearing the
Huh?
and we couldn't explain like what it was. There was like no none of the other. There were two other recorders going at the same time and cameras, and none of them but my recorder caught it. So I don't know if it's an anomaly with my recorder.
No. You're the recorder that you're using is actually one of the target recorders for EVPs.
Those Panasonics are some of the best recorders out there, man.
Yeah, and they're made to
different
pick up
frequency
these weird
response.
frequencies, like they weren't made for it. But
No.
that's just by product what
That'd
they
be
do.
something like that. That's
Because-
made
right.
for it.
Because of the way they're built. They're just inherently more sensitive, so they work great for paranormal investigation because they do pick up EVPs better than anything else. But getting those weird mechanical clicks, like what you're talking about, that to me is way
That's
more
in-
interesting than
yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah, and
Because
I'm
that repeats. That happens multiple times, by the way.
Yeah,
trying to.
and
find
it repeats on what, Ron?
You know what it repeats
A
on.
lot of different stuff.
A
It
lot of
crosses
different
the
phenomena.
board, man.
It crosses the board on a lot of phenomena. You're not just talking about hauntings on this.
Yes.
I do have the sound. If you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
please, please.
As long as you have you're granting us permission to run it.
Are you excited that we're here? Are you excited for Easter?
No idea what caused that.
Dude.
Wow,
Okay,
that's
so
weird.
first of all, cold chills. Second of all,
Yes.
that is amazing because here's what it is not. We know it's not. We know that's not a mechanical thing from the recorder because that's
No.
a digital recorder. Yet that sounds like a mechanical grinding.
It does.
Yeah, so we were in the
Oh
sanctuary of the Indiana State Sanatorium when that happened, and this was part of the original building. This is right on the back side of the administration building. We were in there. We had REM pod activity. We had cat ball kept going off, and then that noise just out
Out
of
of the blue.
nowhere.
Can
I
you
had-
run that again?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Holy crap.
And that's
Okay,
only
guys.
it was only 17 seconds. I'll play the whole 1 minute and 12-second clip so you can hear it.
Perfect.
So I'm here with my friends right now. Are you excited that we're here? Are you excited for Easter? Would you like some candy? You guys get his questions too.
You're doing such a great job.
Okay. Did you love coming to church? Was this your safe place? Can you tell me your name? Is someone outside? Did you hear that? I did. I heard a cowboy. There are people outside that drove by.
Okay.
No, I heard like that way.
But there was nobody. Nobody had driven by. They had driven by like
Oh.
5 minutes.
So
prior.
that was actual. We
Oh,
just
that was
heard.
after.
Yeah,
That sounds like electrical interference to me.
but the
What?
problem is there's no
The click?
electric.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
that's
no
what it
electric
sounds
in
like.
There's
Dude.
no elec-
No,
there's
I
no
mean
elec-
like it could have possibly been messing with the way that thing records to make
Right.
that clicking noise.
Right. You're saying that something was
There was some
messing
sort
with
of
the
EMF.
recorder.
Yeah.
And I would concur with that. Did you
Yeah.
record any kind of EM at that point or anything?
Well, he was saying the REM pod and everything was going nuts.
I didn't have my my
At the
EMF.
time?
I
Yeah.
didn't have that at the time
Okay.
because I was asked like 2 days prior to this, so I had like nothing. I just had my
Had your
cam-
recorder.
I had my recorder and my camera. That's all I had.
Dude.
Like, so like I had just started the page and I was uploading it, and
Man, I
Beyond the
would have
Shadows
loved
asked
to have.
me to come with them, so I went and
Oh, those are good guys.
Oh, yeah.
girls.
Which it said
Yeah.
Beyond the Shadows.
Yeah, there's two. There's Beyond the Shadows podcast, and then there's
That-
Beyond.
The
Beyond the
podcast was
Shadows.
the one I
Yeah, there's two. Unfortunately, in the paranormal community, there's a lot of like doubling.
Yeah, I was saying
up.
those podcasts. I haven't heard of the other one, but I
Uh,
love Beyond the Shadows podcast.
Yeah,
Go check out
it
my
is a good
episode.
It's a good podcast. But no, Brittany and Lisa both are very seasoned paranormal investigators, and they're like, "Hey, we got an extra spot. Do you want to come?" And I'm like, "Sure." It's like a private investigation at ISS, so we're doing this. There's only 6 of us in this portion of the building when I recorded that EVP, which it's up on my YouTube, so
That's
you guys
nice.
can go, listen to it over and over again and analyze it and kick those
Send
views
us a
up for
link
me.
to that so that way we can add that in the
Pop,
show.
pop it in there because that's impressive, man. Cody, I got to tell you, that is one of the probably the best of the mechanical sound recordings that I've ever heard. I've heard people talk about it, and I've kind of heard it, but never to that exact.
That
impressive.
is phenomenal.
And
That's
there was
impressive.
nothing that nothing that could have made that noise
Yeah.
on me. I had a digital camera.
I've personally heard electrical arcing that makes a similar sound like that.
And they like to
I know what
mess
you're
with
talking about,
equipment.
Brandon.
Yeah.
They like to mess with equipment there. They'll drain your battery on stuff.
Yeah, there's serious EM pulsing going on right there. I would love to have had a spectrum analyzer set up at that point.
Oh yeah,
that would have been.
Could you imagine what?
Well,
we
we
could
might
have
know
picked up?
somebody.
Yeah, well,
We could talk afterwards.
we do. We kind of do know somebody, but
Oh, look at that! And like so,
dude.
We were doing a human pendulum in the administration.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
administration bidding, and people are like, "Oh, it's so fake. It's so fake."
No, it's not fake. But
I was very skeptical, and then it was my turn.
yeah, how'd that go?
They knew I was skeptical. Again, videos up on my YouTube. So I'm standing there, and I'm like, "Okay, nothing's happening." They hadn't started asking questions yet. They waited to ask questions, and after that, they started asking questions, and I felt it. And while we're in the middle of it, my digital camera that was sitting next to my iPhone, because my iPhone was recording all this, because I didn't have my fancy 4K camera yet, but my iPhone's recording this, and all of a sudden, my digital camera, which was off, started making noises. Like, and they freak out, and I'm freaking out because I'm blindfolded. I don't know what's going on. They're like, "Ah." And it's like, we traced it. It was my digital camera that I just dropped. This digital camera was sitting there in my bag, not even turned on, and it just started like the shutter or the autofocus just started going off.
So you had electrical interference taking place.
Yeah, in the same building that the EVP was taken.
Think about that, guys. What we just heard. We heard a audio that sounds to me like some form. It almost sounds like a square wave because it's on off on off on off.
Yeah.
And then you've got what you just described as something pretty much taking control of that camera. We've heard this before. This happens. We saw the lady there. Remember, she showed us the video of her phone going nuts.
Yeah.
At the investigation we were just on there a couple weeks ago. This happens. It's the same kind of stuff. Now, what it is, I don't know. But there's something going on, and it seems very intelligent, doesn't it?
I really do think it's intelligent, and
It's intelligent.
And this is the only remaining building from the tuberculosis hospital. So it's one of the oldest buildings on the property, and it's also where the morgue was located. So in the basement of that building is where the tunnels all intersect, and the morgue is down there. And you can go into the morgue. My wife went with me, like I said, the first time I was there.
Yeah.
We walked in the morgue, and she's like, "I got to get out of here." She felt something dark.
Is that the tunnels where there was not a tunnel, it was like a ramp or a tunnel or ramp underneath where the bodies would just pile up during the TB era? Is that the same place I'm thinking
That's
about?
Waverly.
Oh, was that Waverly that
That's
happened?
Waverly.
Okay.
That's Waverly.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Now they did say that the bodies would go out of the tunnels, but here's the thing. So Destination Fear, now Project Fear, was there, and Alex was sleeping in the tunnels, and he had the camera up, and his one camera with a fresh battery just dies for no reason. So same building, same just below where all this happened.
Yeah.
Is Alex had the same thing. So these things keep happening in the same area. You can't deny it. There's enough tangible evidence. You can't deny that something's going on.
Yeah. Definitely an energy source.
Here is a word of advice. save up for a pocket dosimeter.
Yeah, I would agree with him on this.
Yeah.
100%.
That is a pocket dosimeter to check radiation.
Okay.
And then we can corroborate on some data. We can start going back and forth,
Well, not only that,
sharing some information.
it's probably safe to do so.
Well, yeah.
There are many ways that this validation can be seen, like when we're doing EVP sessions or whatnot, and that's why it's important to have multiple pieces of equipment. You got some that can pull out, microwave. You got some that can pull out electromagnetic EMF. You've got some that can respond to, audio and video, and then you've got some that can respond to actual ionizing radiation. So if you've got all those bases covered, if any this thing kind of seems to be able to manifest in any one of those, is what I'm getting at. But how do you know which one to have on at the same? You see, when you're doing these experiments. So if you have all that laid out, chances are you're going to catch it on one of those. And if you're really, really lucky, it'll be multiple ones at the exact same time. So yeah, I would suggest getting you one. They're not that bad anymore. They've come way down in price. So
It's only about $125.
about,
I'll just put it on the wife's credit card.
there you go.
She won't now.
Tell you need it. I mean,
I need to buy that. She's already mad at the amount of money I've spent this year. Like getting into paranormal. Like, here's the thing, and people, when I say this, you do not need a ton of equipment to do paranormal investigation.
You don't.
But if you want high quality evidence and you want to get a YouTube channel started, like, you gotta spend some money on equipment. And I'm close to about $3,000 on equipment this year. Thankfully, I have a full-time job in logistics that I make really good money where I can afford this equipment. But like my camera, my 4K camera that I bought was $1,000. And I got that on
expensive,
sale.
Man.
I know. I got this nice Canon 4K one.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. I love playing with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it does so many cool things. But like, yeah, I have that camera, but I still shoot on my iPhone too. I'll still shoot on the iPad.
That's all I shoot on.
Like,
that and the Phasm.
Yeah,
Never
that
hurts to have different
or
mediums.
Phasm cams. Yeah.
I have a Phasm cam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I bought one of their oopsies because I didn't want to spend $200 on this camera, and they had one that put them. It's very nice. It gets really hot though.
It does get hot.
It does, especially when you use the IR light. But they put the magnets in upside down.
Yep.
Instead of so I paid $130 instead of paying $200. It works.
I got one for $200. Had the magnet upside down.
Oh, I paid $129.95. So
no. Like mine wasn't a known oopsie.
Oh, well, they said it was an oopsie. It was right on their website, and I just yes. What I do most of the time is because PayPal's got that you could split into 4 payments with no interest. Yeah, it's like every 2 weeks. So that's what I typically do when I make a huge purchase. I'll just instead of
There you go.
I don't
exactly.
know. It's very costly, and I have a friend. She's clairvoyant, and she's new into this, and she's like, I don't have any equipment. I'm like, get you a set of cat balls. That's that's like the base of anything. They're so cheap. You can get 20 of them for $10 or something on Amazon or whatever. Get them, and that's a good start to validate things. Then start adding to your collection. Get EMF readers you can get for cheap, excuse me, like Temu or that Sheen website. You can get an EMF reader for $7, and it's the same exact one you can get on eBay for $50. Half this equipment's gonna get broken or lost anyway, so might as well buy the cheap ones.
Well,
that's
guys,
one way to look at it.
You heard one of the coolest audio clips.
I think so.
That we've ever heard, and when it comes to the paranormal research stuff. So
I want to know what you think.
if you're wanting to go find this, it is The Sharp Side of Paranormal. We're going to include a link to that video. Go and listen and subscribe to his channel, because that will make a huge difference in the quality of stuff you can purchase.
It does. It makes it just like you did with us.
I think, well, first off, I don't even have as many subscribers as you.
You have one more since this episode started.
Oh my gosh, I am up to 42 subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like
43. I haven't did it yet.
Oh, I love it.
So
I love it. No, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm not doing. Yes, it's nice to make money off of things, but
you won't make money.
Yeah, you won't make money. You might pay for what you're doing.
Yes, you will do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I break even, I'm good. You know.
Yeah,
you'll be good.
I'll be good. No, here's the thing. I'm not doing it because of money or fame.
That's the best way to do it.
And that's the wrong reasons to get into paranormal investigating. I do it because I love going into these old buildings, because I love exploring. I love watching the Urban X videos on YouTube and all that other stuff. But I love connecting with these lost souls and sharing their stories.
I think that's admirable. I mean, you won't get any flack from us on that. And you go about it in a respectful way, regardless. And I think that is very important, and it's a good thing to see. It makes me very happy. And, man, I'll tell you, I think you're doing it the right way.
I at least try to think I am. I've learned a lot, and it's because of the people that I surround myself with and that I investigate with. Like when you go out with these people, you can pick up on how they do things, and I like how you do this, but I don't like how you do that, and you just move on and you go find another group. Like,
well, I can tell you, I've got about 20 some years in paranormal investigations, and if you count the other stuff, and you're probably about 35 years.
35 pushing 36.
In general, if you count, out of body and so forth and so on, psychic research and dream research. But I'm telling you, you're doing it the right way.
Thank you.
That's really good, and I like to see that. It really does bother me when people grab this and they think they're going to go and have some fun, do it for kicks and scares, and that bothers me. It is not. It's not a parlor trick. There's something there, and you need to respect it.
One of the cool things, at least about this show, and I can't speak for every show, but we're not just a podcast. We're a research group first, and the podcast came well after the research started.
Oh, well after.
So, if you're with seasoned researchers, veteran researchers, dude, you're going the right direction.
Yep. Exactly.
That audio clip, how that is not like everywhere right now is beyond me. That is so wild.
I'm going to play that for some other researchers, by the way, and get their take on that, Cody.
Is that cool with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I absolutely.
Okay.
But I'm looking at I got my YouTube page pulled up right now. 9 views on that weird EVP, unexplained.
Is that it? Weird EVP?
Yeah. So, well, that was the short, but the Church Sound EVP 1 is the actual audio. It's 1:12 long. It's got 11 views on YouTube. That's
okay. Well, it's going to have more. So
and which one was it again?
Church Sound EVP 1.
That's the one we listened to, right?
That's the one you listen to. That's the one. And I did it. I put it as a short as well.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to get out there, but and I understand it takes time to build up the YouTube and stuff. It does.
It takes a lot of time.
But that is the best piece of evidence that I have captured in the field, and I was proud of it.
You should be proud of it. It's really good. And I'm telling you, I'm going to play that for some other researchers. They're not really ghost researchers or paranormal researchers. That sounds a lot like some of the sounds that have been recorded in other experiences.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I would like to.
We'll definitely talk about it. Yeah.
I would definitely like to hear what they have to say.
Yes, I'll let you know exactly what they have to say.
Fantastic. Do you guys got any more questions for
Joe?
me?
Yeah.
You're looking at something.
Nope. I am.
Oh, I thought you were getting
I'm
ready to.
that video just went up on the page.
Okay, did you put it up there?
I put it
Okay.
up on the page, and man, we've got a great community here that supports us, and we're gonna help boost your page some, man, because you with work you're doing like that, you deserve
It's
it.
cool, man.
More people need to see it.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I thank Brandon because he invited me to come on because shameless plug here. We both are writers for Paranormality magazine.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
He's like, hey, we need somebody to come on our podcast. Would you be interested in coming on? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I love sharing my stories and meeting new people in the paranormal community. And I've got two big stories coming out. Well, actually, one's a really big story, and the other is just another big story coming out in our August edition. I've actually got two stories in the magazine this coming month.
Cool.
Nice.
And one of them has to do an exclusive with some former employees of Ghost Hunts USA that are spilling the tea, and a customer that got screwed over, and I'm not going to give it away because I want you all to go read the story.
Go read the article.
She got screwed over, and let's just say there's a really good ending to that, thanks to me. But I won't tell you how I did it or what happened, but you just go read the article and you'll see. But yeah, and then I do another one on Crescent Sanatorium and their current legal battle that they're in. So,
well, cool. Well, I think we. Who wants to do the promo for the magazine?
You mean this one?
Yeah, you want to do it this time?
If you are interested in subscribing to Paranormality magazine, you can go over there right now to their website and use Wild and Weird 23. That is Wild, the letter N, Weird 23, to get 10% off your first month subscription. These articles are jam-packed with information. They're chock full of reviews, interviews, stories, and just different paranormal material. You want to get a hold of these. They're great quality. Clearly, good quality writers. I mean, one of them is one of our own, and then we've got Cody here, who's also a writer. And if you want to keep up with him and what he's doing, go check him out on his channel. But then keep clicking on your Paranormality magazine subscription. Get that to your door once a month. That way you can read articles by Cody and by Brandon every single month. It will be delivered to your door. High quality paper too. A lot of these magazines are being printed on recycled stuff. Not this magazine. This comes on good quality stock. These will fit nicely on your bookshelf, and just use Wild and Weird 23. Go get 10% off your first month subscription. Get after it, guys.
Yep.
I know that magazine. It's a really good magazine.
It's a good magazine.
Right?
Yeah, I got a few of those.
I got a few of
Cool.
those.
But yeah, man, like you're doing it the right way. I like what you're doing.
I appreciate that.
It's a fine start, Cody. Let's just put it that way.
It means a lot coming from some seasoned investigators. It really does. Because I just sometimes feel so lost, and I just feel like I look at my numbers and I'm like, okay, I'm not getting my greatest view is 90 views on one of my videos.
Been there, done that.
And you know what? I don't let the numbers drive my content.
Don't.
I just want to keep going. I've got 10 hours of video from one investigation that I still have to edit, and another 3 hours from another investigation that I gotta edit.
I feel that. I understand.
Yeah, Ron's
more than
dying for the minute that I have enough free time to actually get in here and start editing stuff with him, because right now I don't have the time. I wish I did.
Well, we do multiple shows a week. We do the live, which thank for goodness isn't edited, but we do the live, and then I've got this show, which I do edit, and then I've got the little
from investigations.
Yeah, we got the actual investigation documentaries and such that are little mini productions. And then on top of that, we've got to make stuff for shows, and then we got to go out and speak at places. It's just absolutely insane. But
It's a hectic schedule to keep up with,
It's
and
a
our
hectic
wives
schedule.
want to kill us sometimes.
And you either like it or you don't. And I think you're doing, like I said, you're doing it about the right way, and you don't focus on the number. That's what I'm going to tell you. That's the number one advice. Just make your content for you, and if you like it, others will like it, and that's all that's going to matter. You'll be there in no time.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me. It's been a
Thanks
it's
for
been a
being here,
pleasure.
man.
It was
Find
Yeah,
yourself over this way. We'll get you out in the field at some point.
Yeah,
I
man,
would come join the
you're not
Facebook group
terribly
and
far.
network.
You're only about a 5-hour drive from us, I believe.
You're not too far. Yeah.
Where are you guys at?
I'm in Hurricane, West Virginia. Ron's in Charleston, and Brandon's in Culloden.
Okay, that's not too far away. So I
Mhm.
got family that lives like Eastern Tennessee, close to North Carolina.
Yeah. So when you go visit them, stop by.
I'll
See, there you
stop
go.
by. There you go. I'll make a big loop.
There you
Take
go.
him down to the TNT bunkers and
Yeah, we'll take you to
let
the Mothman TNT bunkers.
him run through there.
You know what? Real quick, since you brought up the Mothman thing, I don't know yet. Depends on work stuff. I might be coming to the Mothman convention.
Oh, the
I was
Mothman Festival. We're always there.
You'll see us then.
Yeah.
I was invited by somebody to go down there, so I might don't
Do it.
Do it.
If you've never been, you need to do it.
So
Oh, you need to do it.
It
It's
is an
fun.
experience
It's
you will never.
you will
ever
never
replicate.
ever see anything like it again. I promise. And it's amazing. It is truly amazing. Last year was insane. This year should be just pretty much amazing again. But last year was back after the delays for 2 years, and there's like 30-some thousand people there. It was insane, and we almost didn't get to eat. So it was great.
Yeah, it was that crazy.
well, that's a good thing. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a good thing.
it was
It's
a good
busy.
thing. It was a
but-
good thing. Yeah, it was a great thing, actually. We got to speak in front of the largest crowd at Mothman and the Mothman festival history. So,
Wow.
strange blessings, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, man, thanks for joining us again. His YouTube channel is The Sharp Side of Paranormal. Go check him out right now. We are going to put up a link for you guys to go
It'll
straight
be
there.
right there.
If you can't see it here, or for whatever reason it doesn't work for you, or if you're listening in your car or in your cubicle, you can head on over to the Wild and Weird West Virginia talk page. Click on that. There's going to be a link over there on there. I posted it while we were in the show. Remember, if you guys have had some kind of a strange experience that you want to report, you can head on over to wildandweirdwv.com and you can report that sighting there. You can then go over to the wildandweirdwv.com, click the shop tab, and you can continue to support this show and keep it free for eons and eons to come. And we've got a lot of stuff coming up. If you're wanting to catch us out on the road, hopefully you guys we got at least 25 of you coming out to hang out with us tomorrow. If you're listening on the Friday, you're going to be coming out to hang out with us at the Bigfoot Workshop, the Wild and Weird Workshop series, where we are going to be going out doing some Bigfoot investigation stuff. We're going to be teaching you guys how to collect data properly. We're going to show you guys the ins and the outs. That's July 15th tomorrow for you guys who are watching this. There's only a few spots left. If there's any, you can go check. It's Friday when this thing airs. If you go to the wildandweirdwv.com, go to the resource tab. If there's any spots available, they'll be listed in there under the workshop status. We might have 1 or 2 spots left open at the very end to get in there and get that taken care of. And that way you can jump on there. And believe it or not, we have a legend that is going to be in-house. And that is going to be Glenn Adkins with the Squatch Stick. He is the maker of the Squatch Stick. This is the stick that is carried by all the members of Finding Bigfoot on the television show. They go through beating on trees. They make an excellent sound. They also make a really good mood adjuster.
Bet they do.
If you
don't
want to come
send the
out and
link
hang
to
out
my
with
wife.
Glenn, I'm telling you, this is going to be a workshop of epic proportions, guys. I'm telling you. And you're not going to want to miss this. I can't wait for everybody to show up to get to experience this all with us. It's so great. We've got coming up, Ron will be making his appearance at the Kecksburg UFO Festival.
Yeah.
That's coming up here. It will be not this weekend, but next for you guys. Then the Hawking Hills Bigfoot Festival is going to be happening on August 4th and 5th. We're going to be out there. We're speaking at that event. You got August 12th is Wood Booger Jamboree, followed up by August 19th with Cryptid Bash. Those are going to be the next 3 spots that you're going to be able to find us. But you cannot forget, September 9th is going to be the Flatwoods Monster Con, and then the very next weekend, that is going to be just out of this world.
You dropped out right there.
We cannot wait to see you guys. So, everybody, thanks for joining us yet again for another fantastic episode of Wild and Weird Radio. You guys are great. Thank you, Cody, for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you again, guys.
We're looking forward. If you get any more great evidence, man, give us a shout. We'll jump you into one of our live streams on Thursday night. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern every week. We can bring you into one of those. You can show the new evidence and get that out in front of a bunch of people, as well as the link. We'll send all the viewers straight to your page as soon as they're done with our show, and they can just watch to their heart's content and catch all of the weirdness that you're able to gather.
That would be amazing.
All right, man. Well, everybody, is that how are you doing? Is you got anything else, Ron?
No, I'm good.
Brandon, how about you?
Oh, I'm good.
Well, I think that wraps us up, guys. Cody, thanks for coming on, man. Again, it's been a great show. You're a fantastic interview.
I think Cody will be back in the future as well.
Cody, I believe, will be back in the future.
Yeah.
I would love that.
This is like one of those little Marvel movies where it ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cody will be returning in the future. On Weird Radio. And remember, if you're ever out standing in front of an old hospital ward, and some kind of black shadow runs by you, don't squeal like a little girl and run down the hallway, okay? Stay wild and weird, everybody.